Hello. When preparing a speech, there are many different things to consider, and there are many different steps that go into the overall process. Furthermore, there are many things to learn about making a speech, writing a speech, delivering a speech, and, most importantly in this case, your audience. It is important to review your audience because you never know what your audience will be expecting in terms of the content they will be receiving and who will be attending your presentation. The term that I decided to talk about from Chapter 9 is psychological audience analysis. Psychological audience analysis basically considers your audience's psychological dispositions towards a topic, speaker, or occasion, and the attitudes and beliefs they have that make these certain dispositions. I will apply this term and concept directly to 2 years ago incident where I made a speech. It was my high school graduation speech, for example. So 2 years ago, after I graduated, we were approaching graduation, and they told me, because I was the All Franklin boy, that I had to go ahead and present a speech. The topic of the speech was about how can we implement our values and continue to show our high school pride outside of high school after we graduate. Furthermore, our 10 years down the road, so on and so forth. So I knew it was important that I had to evaluate my audience, the content that they will be receiving. I hope that they can understand it, and I hope that they will pay attention to it and be aware of what I'm saying. So even though at the time 2 years ago, since I wasn't taking a communication class as such, I didn't know what this term was directly, but I unknowingly still did it. How did I do this? Well, let me tell you. So in order to analyze your audience, you have to look at what they believe in, the knowledge they know so far, and you have to be able to be clear and concise, and you don't want to use confusing jargon, as they call it, or confusing words. For example, what they say in the book is you wouldn't go to a fifth grade reading class and give a speech on calculus because you don't want to confuse you. You're confusing your audience because it is something that they don't have the knowledge, they haven't acquired that knowledge, so it doesn't make sense. So I knew it was important that I had to talk about something that my audience could relate to. So I used my credibility, and that's another term that goes along with psychological audience analysis, is credibility. Credibility is very important because it attracts an audience, and if you appear as trustworthy and someone that you can listen to, then more people are going to want to hear your speech and adapt to what you have to say. So I believe that I was pretty active in my high school. I did a lot of extracurricular activities, what you want to call it. I felt that I was interactive with people, and because of that, I felt that I was credible because people knew me. So going into the speech, I had more confidence because people would already trust me and people would think that I'm a positive speaker. So I used my power of credibility to further deliver the speech strongly and get my point across. So, besides looking at the attitudes, the opinions and beliefs of my audience, and establishing my credibility, it is important to determine what two types of audience you'll be talking to, because that is an important factor in psychological audience analysis. There are two different types of audiences. There are captive and voluntary. Captive is a mandatory audience, and voluntary is, of course, people are there because they want to be there. So my graduation, the one that I had to make a speech at, was a mix of both. Because even though it wasn't mandatory for everyone to attend the graduation, it seemed mandatory because parents and grandparents are going to want to see their child graduate. So that's the mindset they have. But at the same time, like I said, it is not required, so not everyone has to go. In conclusion, psychological audience analysis is a key element to the overall speech-making process. A lot of people don't know it, and a lot of people aren't going to learn it, but if they do, it'll help them be a better speaker, it'll give them better communication skills, and it'll help them communicate more ethically. I myself have learned it, and I've been able to apply it to my professional life because it helps me be a better employer and meet my employees' needs. Overall, psychological audience analysis is important to me, and I will continue to use it to be a better speaker. Thank you.